of the rim. Got it! Oh, the slam. Oh, using Curry way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry!
What's up, NBA fans? Dom2K on the mic, and before this video begins, I did want to thank everyone for 400k. I believe this last 2 or so months is the most consistent I've been on the channel in years, surprisingly, and we got right to 400, so it is only right to shoot for half a mil now. Been around for some time and just did want to thank the committed subscribers and viewers. With that being said, let's get into the gist of this video. The season is in full swing. I'm not really talking about opening week though. I am looking at teams who I have identified and basically saying they need to find out what is happening with their future, aka change is imminent, I believe. This is specifically for teams that don't have a chance at contending right now, yet the guys they are paying, the core they are paying, either has to make something shake or they have to think about what's next, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, I believe it will immediately become clear what I mean as I move into these teams. But before this video starts, I know we've been waiting all summer for this season to start and cannot wait to see our favorite teams hit the court. You already know I'm partnered up with DraftKings to bring you the best offers, and today I've got something special. All new customers who bet just $5 on any wager will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. You heard that right. Download the DraftKings app today and sign up using my promo code DOM2K. Then just bet $5 on any basketball game and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at even bigger payouts. There you can combine multiple bets together from the same game, including player points, rebounds, assists, and more. If you're already signed up for DraftKings, don't worry. All customers can get a no sweat same game parlay or SGPX if your bet doesn't hit, but max rewards limits do apply. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code DOM2K and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code DOM2K only at DraftKings Sportsbook. So for instance, let's start at team number 1, the Chicago Bulls, who have allegedly already had a player meeting. That is not why they have showed up on this video though. I am of the belief that the Bulls needed to kind of start thinking about their rebuild last year. Yet here we are, and they just have the remnants of that team they began to put together in 2021. They had something really nice for 2022, and it's just very unfortunate. Lonzo Ball's knee it's damn near sounds unsalvageable, and even if it is, he's not going to be back at all this season. For them to ever reach their ceiling, they needed him present. They needed him as the point guard. Everything fit. Not only is that not happening, your star acquisition in DeMar DeRozan is now 34 years old and he's on the last year of his deal. Make matters worse, his running mate Zach LaVine, he's 28. He's locked up through 2027. However, at this point in his career, I believe we can just look at him and say he's probably not the number 1 on a championship team. I don't think Chicago is going to have the pieces around him in a timely manner to win a championship. I think that what they tried in this last couple of years was the move, and they were just unfortunate that it did not work out. So you're missing another year of Lonzo. Zero shot you're contending this year. I really do expect to start to hear some things about DeRozan pretty soon. He can still contribute. I'm sure there would be a market for him. This is why I also believe they needed to trade him earlier though. Once again, this is his last season and he's 34. This is the last year of his deal, meaning if you did move him, the value is not what it could have been. And if you don't move him, you very much just risk having him walk in the offseason. So Chicago, maybe more than any team on this list, needs to kind of find out, hey, do we want to just go to the play-in again and try to do things that way, where the best case scenario is we match a contender in the first round and get knocked out? Do we want to fake some run that maybe gets us to the second round? Or do we want to try to find a direction? I genuinely do mean that it was a good try when they put this together. They got Vooch, then they got DeRozan, you got Ball. It really was a good try. They just got screwed. There's a better than 95% chance that change is imminent. Hell, if you did lock DeRozan up for the rest of his career, you got Lonzo back next year, Vooch would be another year older, DeRozan would be another year older. Are you winning a championship if you're healthy anyways? Probably not. I think it is time. I've been hinting at it for a while in previous videos. I do also feel the same way about the 76ers, who are in the limelight. They are specifically being targeted these days due to their James Harden situation, which I don't even think anyone that's not in the locker room could accurately explain. There's a lot of fog with it. Yet what's clear is this is the last year of his deal. He is 34 years old. He doesn't want to be there. What's also clear is Embiid is pushing 30. Yes, you do have him locked up to a 2027, but we know how this goes. When you have a star player, you only have him locked up practically as long as he believes in your direction. Maybe Harden can't just demand whatever he wants anymore. A star like Joel Embiid really can though. It's only a matter of time before he starts asking out. At the time of this recording, last night he had to deal with stepping out of the paint to guard Damian Lillard, who was freshly traded to the Bucks. It really didn't happen often. I'm just using it as an example. The crazy thing is, this Philly team, the roster isn't actually bad. I really like how Tyrese Maxey fits with Embiid. He's very young. Just basketball wise, the lineups that they put out there around Embiid make sense. It's still just not a contender. It was just barely a contender with James Harden. It certainly isn't one without him. It is unfortunate that we're going into another year of Embiid, and one way or the other, it is essentially wasted. The best they could really do right now, given Harden's contract situation, seems to be to trade for the hope that you get a wing that can shoot and defend, or some wings that can shoot and defend. Maybe you'll get a young player. You just can't hope for much. His value isn't great given the situation. So not only do they need to handle that, they need to handle it in a manner that at least sets them up to be able to propel them to contention in the Embiid era. I'm not sure if that exists. Maybe someone will become available and they'll be able to get their hands on them. Yeah, other than that, it doesn't look good. There's a lot of expiring contracts on this team. Next year, it will likely look totally different. Change is probably imminent for Philly. They've got to figure something out very much sooner than later. And number 3, maybe it surprises you, maybe it doesn't. I feel that way about the Atlanta Hawks though. They went in and got DeJounte Murray as their, I don't know if I would call it a go for it move. That was supposed to be their big move, and it's probably their biggest move of the Trae Young era. He is locked up until 2028. Trae Young is locked up until 2027. We saw how it turned out last year. I am not of the belief they did anything this offseason that will really move the needle. They've got some young guys you have hope for that will come in and contribute. I don't know that it's anything that will change the situation to a contending one. And that's a little bit unfortunate because Trae Young is one of those guys where you only have so many years that can count as mediocre before you start wondering, hey, when are they going to contend? When is he going to get close? When is there a direction that seems as if it will actually pay off? And so we haven't heard that noise from Trae yet, but they are a team to me that needs to find a way to land a complimentary piece to him that fits very well and really pushes them over the top. If they don't, by the time you get to about 2025, the end of the 25 season, I would expect the noise to be a lot louder. By then, he will have ran there for a good amount of time. He will only have 2 years left on his deal. The pressure will ramp up. For whatever Young's deficiencies are on defense, he can clearly be the star offensive engine to a squad. Maybe there's no noise happening yet. Still, if year 2 of he and DeJounte doesn't look a whole lot better, and you go into next year and there isn't much change, I don't feel good about where the situation is headed. They need to figure something out soon. A squad that really did do their version of the go for it move was the Minnesota Timberwolves. They went all in for Rudy Gobert. They put him next to Towns. You've already got Ant there. They just extended Jaden McDaniels. The way this squad may be a bit different is that this is their core that's supposed to win or be winning or get pretty far. This is it. They've got a ton of money locked up in that starting 5. And my issue is that core at its very best, I'm not really sure is ever really going to win. I'm not really sure how far they're going to get either. We didn't get to see a whole lot of Cat and Gobert playing next to each other and figuring it out throughout the regular season. They kind of have to do it this year. Even if they do, does that work very well? How much better is Ant going to get at passing Gobert the ball in rolls and such? There's no doubt they have potential to be better. However, for the penny they are paying, it just very much feels like there needs to be some significant movement in terms of progress this season. And if there isn't, well, now Gobert is another year older. You're on to another year of Karl Anthony Towns, and Ant is continuing to spread his wings. You've got him up until 2029. He's locked up. I think he's the clear 1 on this team. And so what I would say is imminent for them is if they don't get any further than they did last year, which one of Cat or Gobert is being moved and what are they being moved for? The other part about that is looking at Gobert's contract, to me, it's clear who you would get more value for. It's definitely Cat. And what does that move look like if it happens? It's way too early, but I would say that the 2024 season is vital for them and then change is imminent. If they don't make a giant step this year with this core they're paying all this money for, they have a complex decision to make this summer. Here's somewhere I never thought we would be after the year 2019. The Toronto Raptors have not fully committed to 29-year-old Pascal Siakam. No extension yet, $37 million this year. Future kind of up in the air at this specific moment. What ends up happening with OG Anunoby? Of course, you've got your young guy in Scotty Barnes. The weird position that this squad finds themselves in is all those years ago, I don't think they really expected Kawhi Leonard to leave after winning a championship. Once he did, you were just kind of floating around with pieces that helped win that title and they were still competitive for a bit. And now we're in the timeline where year after year, it's just kind of not gone anywhere. They did not replace him with another star, and you've made it to the end where you've got to make some decisions. This is another unit I believe should have had their front office begin a rebuild last year. I didn't understand the Lillard talks with what the deal probably would have demanded. That didn't happen anyway, so now you just have a team that on certain nights is likely to play solid basketball. You just have to figure out what you're doing with those two guys though. If you do extend Siakam, you lock Anunoby up. Okay, now what? Is it just banking on the Barnes development for a good while? Is Siakam gonna age out of your process before he can really help you? All in all, the Toronto Raptors to me should have restarted a rebuild not long after Kawhi left, really probably after they didn't make it in 2020. Their decisions in the coming year will be very fascinating because just playing basketball in no man's land, where you're not completely terrible, but you also may not even make the playoffs, or if you do, why did you do it? It's a weird place to be. Decisions are imminent for this team. I would say this is the list. I have mentioned that I believe the Cavaliers are going to have to make something shake this year, or the Donovan Mitchell situation becomes dicey, yet I don't see them so far away from contention that I would have them here. If they had the right deadline move, maybe they could get further. They could be a mention though. Everyone else, keep an eye out for them in the next 365 days. I promise there will be more than a couple of decisions made, or at least there needs to be. Let me know if you think any other teams belong on this list. Let me know what you think these specific teams should do. And once again, thank you all for 400k. This has been an interesting journey. We're still growing, so why not just see how far it can go? If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Also sub and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications every time a new video drops. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.